Hello everybody, this is Purge, and I'm bringing you guys a first-person replay commentary of a Phoenix game that I played recently on stream. I'm just going to do basic comments and stuff like that, and this is kind of a follow-up of the video that I made like a month ago or 2 months ago or whatever it was that I played Phoenix. But I played Offlane this game. If you guys want to watch the stream VOD, I'll link it in the description box below, and that'll show my actual perspective. I don't think I give very much commentary on the video, but if you guys do want to see my perspective for reactions and stuff like that, then you can. This is from a day of a lot of streaming. I think I streamed 10 hours the other day. I lost a lot of games, but this is one of the few that actually went kind of okay from my perspective, where I didn't end up feeding. So, yeah, I think it's pretty fun. I've played quite a few Phoenix games since the last time I made the video, so my thoughts on item builds and things like that have changed slightly. First things first, when I made the video, I was playing a support Phoenix, I think, and in that circumstance, I didn't really feel like Tranquil Boots were that required or needed, but upon playing a couple offlane games, I really think Tranquil Boots are the way to go for sure. Part of the reason is because I like to start with Boots on Phoenix because his mobility is really good and he's difficult to kill. So upgrading to Tranquil Boots is very, very easy because it only costs 525 gold after you already have your brown boots. So simply upgrading to Tranquil Boots after that is the easiest thing in the world. So Boots first start as the offlane I think is the way to go. Hopefully you'll get at least one tango or one observer ward from your allies, and you can go to the lane with a tango and maybe a clarity potion, or you can get a ironwood branch. It doesn't really matter that much. You actually don't really have very many mana problems on Phoenix because the only spell that actually costs mana that you should be getting in the early game is actually Fire Spirits, because Dive is just a cooldown based ability. It doesn't cost mana at all. So I think Fire Spirits is easily the way to go with Icarus Dive, especially if you're having a good game, then you should max Dive with the Fire Spirits. I like Sunray as an ability, but I think it's very situational early because it costs you a lot of HP and mana to use. Actually, it really does increase your mana costs. Like, I think you can easily get by without a Soul Ring on Phoenix. You just need like a wand maybe, and you're going to be in a good spot. So since I'm playing offlane and this is a pub, you can usually get your ward down blocking the pull pretty fast. This is going to block the pull. The line is about right here. I think I explained it on the video. If you can see my mouse actually, but it's just like a vertical column there. I ended up blocking it, and it's also going to give me vision of the supports when they're running around in the jungle. It's not the best ward actually for spotting supports roaming or ganking me, but it does block the camp and give me some okay vision. So I think it's okay to place the ward there. Again, I don't think I need a clarity potion because the only spell that's going to cost me mana until 6 is Fire Spirits, so I can get by with just being slightly greedy, going for an Ironwood Branch, which will give me 1 damage, 19 HP, and 13 more int. Not to mention like a very small piece of an armor. Every 7 agility you get gives you 1 armor, so that's one of Phoenix's lackings though, is very low armor, so trading hits is not something you really want to do very much. The only time you want to trade hits as Phoenix is when you're actively applying the Fire Spirits to your opponents. If you do that, their attack speed gets massively decreased, so if you can reduce their attack speed, then it's fine to trade hits because you're always going to be attacking more often than they are. But if you're not trading hits, then it's not something that, or if you're not applying Fire Spirits, you have to be really careful about trading hits because you only have 1 tango in the lane. You could of course grab more regen and then come to the lane, but if you take a look at my movement speed, it's really, really low. So you have to make sure that, like going Boots first really does help you out a lot, because otherwise your opponents would be quite a bit faster than you. 50 movement speed means it's like 285 I think. I'm putting a lot of pressure on the Tuskar because I can, frankly. And I absolutely needed to dive out of there. Luckily I'd hit level 2, so I won't be in any trouble, but if it wasn't for that, that would have been really, really scary. So I burned all my cooldowns. I have to play really passive for a bit. I can continue last hitting if possible. I actually really like Phoenix's attack animation. I think it's pretty decent here. I'm actually really lucky with the fact that it's a Abaddon in the lane. He's actually not that scary of a support, at least for me, because I can always just dive if I get into a bad situation. Whenever he does the ice shards, it's actually pretty scary for me. I have to make sure that they're not able to follow up. But again, as soon as I hit 3, I can go for the bird pressure once again. You kind of have to predict where your opponents are going to go, and I actually messed up those birds a lot. I only actually applied 1 to the Abaddon, and I think that does 150 damage if I'm not mistaken. 35 damage per second over 4 is 70, 140. So it's 140 magic damage. So if I do apply 4 spirits to the lane opponents, it's really good. But if I can't do that, then it's a big problem. And part of the reason this lane is so easy, obviously, is because I'm a ranged here and they're a melee. So I can actually consistently harass, I can contest. I should have denied his clarity push, and that was silly for me not to do. Earlier, at least. But, oh well. Alright, there we go. Clarity Potion finally destroyed. And the wave is now pushing since I blocked and I got lucky and they didn't have sentries. There's a lot of things that just went really well for me in this laning stage. Like, they basically have no way to kill me. I should not die to this lane, period. When he casts Aphotic Shield, I could turn and trade hits, but I know that if it explodes, I'm going to take damage, so I'd rather just have him waste his mana like that. Abaddons actually don't have a super high mana pool, so it's important to hopefully let his mana go to waste. So I just checked his cooldowns, it explodes right now, which means he completely wasted 110 mana. The only thing he accomplished there was keeping me out of EXP range for a moment, and that really didn't do very much, so... Now that I'm level 4, my nuke damage is a lot higher. If I can hit 2 spirits on both heroes like that, it's really, really useful. And whenever they're trying to go for last hits, I can of course apply spirits and things like that. I missed another bird there, but finally landed that one. And again, I took a little too much damage here. One thing that is good about their dual lane though is they can remove the debuff from the fire spirit. So if somebody's taking damage from the fire and he gets shielded, then that damage over time will go away. So I thought that was going to be really cost efficient for me, but I missed 2 birds there. And it ended up being a little bit bad. Looks like our top lane is not going very hot. Those are our hard carry just dying to a bristleback, and the bristleback actually has a lot of farm, so both offlanes are actually doing pretty well this game. I'm also out of HP regen at this point, so even using fire spirits, like if you use your spells, it does cost you HP, so not having any regen at this point is a little costly. But luckily for me, I've actually gotten a lot of CS. I'm up to 1,000 gold, so I can easily buy Tranquil Boots, and I'll fly those out to me now. The only problem with Tranquil Boots in the offlane, and this is usually, I'll talk about that in a moment, but Tranquil Boots are such a good pickup because usually by the time your tango runs out, if things are going vaguely okay, you have some EXP and you have some last hits, you should be able to finish the Tranquils. If I didn't have Tranquil Boots being picked up right now, I would probably have to go back to base, and this means that I can continue my EXP gain, I can stay in lane, and more importantly, it also gives me 4 armor, which completely fills my whole armor gap. 4 armor is pretty darn good at this point, so I should have gone for a kill right there, I think. I still could be going. I think I wasted a big opportunity not going for this personally. But I didn't. Anyways, the problem with Tranquil Boots is, while you do get it, if the lane is actually pushed up, you don't have very much time to sit and regen. Because if you're last hitting, or you are getting hit by physical damage, then you won't actually be able to use your Tranquil Boots regen. It keeps going on cooldown every time I get a last hit. So, as much as I love the item, sometimes it's actually, if the lane is in an advantage towards you, it's actually not good, because people can get away pretty easily. Applied this a couple more times, and I just wanted to really make sure that and I'm just going to ulti there immediately, because it guarantees that he isn't able to kill me, but use the ulti, that gives me a full heal. I got a kill on the carry, and this also puts me at level 7, so that was really good for me. He kind of had to go on me at that point, because he knew that I had another fire spirit, and there was a chance of me killing him, so unfortunately for me, every single one of our other lanes is getting wrecked, so makes things a little scary, but you should max fire spirits immediately, no matter what build you go. Even if you go 1-4-1, I still think fire spirits at level 1 should be max. At this point, it's really hard for him to trade hits with me. If I keep putting fire spirits on him, there's really not a whole lot that he can do. And I barely survived that one. It was a little dangerous for me to dive under tower, but it ended up being worth it. And I'm just going to TP back because I want to make sure that no hero ends up showing up. So 2 kills there, and 25 CS as an offlaner is completely amazing. You should not be doing this well. Again, the main reason that I was doing well is because they had a dual melee, and Phoenix is kind of OP against heroes that don't have silences or stuns. So since my team's doing so bad, mech is by far the best choice for me to go for. You sometimes have a bit of mana with this, because Fire Spirits plus Supernova plus mech is higher than my mana pool is, so I have to be a little careful about using mech, but at the very least, grabbing a Buckler this early is completely worth it, especially because a lot of the heroes on the Radiant team do physical damage. So Buckler plus Tranquil Boots gives me survivability and means that I can't be bursted down quite as easily. Also, since my team is doing rough and I have a lot of squishy heroes, namely Zeus and Luna, having a mech really early in the game is going to be quite useful towards keeping my allies alive. So I can be aggressive to this guy once again. I'm just going to start off with a long-range Fire Spirit. I do have Supernova again, so I can definitely dive this. I actually missed my slow, I think, but really, really easy kill there. I don't think I had to ulti for this one, but I did it just to be safe. I just wanted to guarantee that I would get a kill. It actually does a lot of damage from range. It does 60 damage per second. So if I already have the fire spirits on, even if it's only triggering for a second or two, it's definitely worth it. So I could have maybe gave some pressure to my other lanes this game instead of just going for the easy kills on the Tusk for three times in a row, but I think this is a pretty good thing to do for two reasons. Number one, it snowballs me really hard and gives me a big advantage. The ganks and the kills in the other lanes aren't necessarily as guaranteed. I know that there's not going to be like core heroes here, like the Storm isn't going to like just show up bot lane. Also, it gets me even closer to my mech, which is really nice. I could maybe pick up a kill on the Storm Spirit here. It's going to be a little tough because of the Baden being here, but I really wish I had my ulti at this point, but luckily for me I was able to put the Fire Spirits on 3 heroes, so that worked out really nicely. And now that I have Sunray, I will end up using this, just because it's going to do some damage from range. In most cases I really don't like using it, but when I've already used all my other cooldowns and I'm chasing somebody from range, it's not the worst damage in the world. Does 15 damage per second and max percent HP as damage. That's I always get this confused. Some people are saying it's their HP, not mine. It did seem to be doing a very low amount of damage, but this also cost me 6% of my HP per second to cast it, and it lasts for up to 6 seconds. So using this goes up to, what, 36% of your total HP. So it's nice to have Tranquil Boots because you can be regenning during that time. So I don't think my mech is finished. I have the headdress though, so I'll buy another TP and I'll go gank the offlane again. Again, I can use Supernova to go a little aggressive. My dive now does 280 damage, I think. Yep. So my combo's pretty solid right now. I could also gank the Bristleback perhaps, but I could also maybe just grab an easy kill on the bot lane once again. It has been very easy to kill him. Here comes the Fire Spirits. I actually used the dive a little early there. If I had not whiffed the dive, things would be a lot better. But looks like Potom wanted to gank me. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this kill, but I can do some damage at least. And I have seen that there's some bad things going on in the river. There's a lot of heroes down here, so I shouldn't try to force any fight at this point. Also, I'm really close to level 11, and the difference between level 1 Supernova and 7, and level 11, level 1 Supernova, level 2 Supernova is a huge difference. It's an extra 2 attacks to destroy. It also does an extra 20 damage per second, so I probably want to try to stay alive till level 11 before I get really into it, and there it is. So level 2 ulti, I feel really safe with level 2 ulti, especially if I'm ahead like this. Everybody's attack speed is fairly slow. So there's a low chance that I'll be able to die during Supernova at this point. So, but my main priority is just finishing the mech at this point. I could maybe defend top. Actually, TPing top would be amazing right now, but I can't do it. That would have been the easiest kill ever, but my TP scroll wasn't up. So anyways, mech is finished now. So I've got mech, I have tons of survivability, I can burst heal my allies, and I have a huge reach as well, so if I do TP support to a lane, there's a good chance that I can contribute without dying.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So I'm going to definitely go start ganking now since I have the mech finished. Can easily swing team fights. This looks a little bad for my Luna, so... They actually cleaned that up really hard without me, so I was pretty happy with that. That was nice. I'm going to use my mech just to keep the Luna healed up, because keeping her at full HP means she's not going to have to go back to base as fast, so I think it's worth it to use it. Even if it'll be on cooldown for a bit. Maybe it'll hurt me in the next fight, who knows. But I do have enough mana to do a combo here, so I'm just going to make sure that I put the debuff on everybody, and then I'm going to ulti on top of this as well. They're trying to burst me down, but it's simply not going to happen because I already applied the Fire Spirits. I did actually miss that one, but luckily my dive actually got the kill. But I did definitely miss the Fire Spirit. That was a mistake. That's weird, I didn't see myself click there. Yeah, we got Storm, we got a Baden. We lost the Zeus, but pretty good. If I would have gone in a moment earlier, it might have gone better, but overall worked out okay. And despite my HP missing a lot, Tranquils and the mech are gonna pop me up to full really fast here. So basically, as long as I'm doing something when my cooldowns are down, I'm doing my job, especially because I'm this far ahead. Phoenix isn't a hard carry, he's more of like a, he's not even like a carry in it by any sense, he's more of kind of like a nuker ganker support.
Dire's middle tower is under
So just
attack.
using my cooldowns is really important. And it's so easy to do because the dive has such long range. Like, it doesn't take a whole lot of patience to play this hero, you just have to get within dive range and you can make something happen, which is one of the reasons I like him so much. I can just kind of do stuff, I don't have to worry about hesitation or anything like that. So I just casted that because my last Fire Spirit is about to go away, so. Look at some other stats, I guess.
Dire's bottom
They've
tower is under
Potom
attack.
as well as the Storm are doing quite well, so I can definitely try to dissuade this push from going on. Killing the Frozen Sigil is pretty good. It's 90 gold, so. Also got 2 kills. Didn't quite have my supernova up there, it might have made a difference, but losing a line for 2 cores like that was absolutely worth it. So, and now I get to level up my Sunray a bit. It's going to do a lot more damage now. This does also heal your allies, by the way, so if you're worried about one of your allies dying, you can always cast Sunray on him in addition to the mech. It's a little tricky to use the Sunray to go forward, but the way it works is you cast it, you press the hotkey, and you left click on the ground, you'll start the Sunray in that direction. And then you have to press, I don't know what the hotkeys are for you guys, but at least for me on Legacy, you press E to start moving forward, and whenever you want, you can press E to stop moving forward. So you have to press E left, or R left click to use the spell, and then you press E to start moving forward. This is going to be the easiest kill ever because we found an Abaddon in the middle of nowhere. Unless, of course, oh, it's right, I do have a dust, I was anticipating this, so super easy kill there. I don't know what he was doing, maybe warding or something. Yeah, he was going to place a ward, but luckily we caught him, and super easy kill there, so. You can actually jungle really easily with Phoenix as well during downtime. I had a Spirit about to go away, so I casted it on a neutral camp, and I can clean this up for a bit of easy farm. Got a Bristleback on the top. I'm just telling him to wait a moment, because I almost have my cooldowns, and I'm just going to go from the back as well. So, start off with the Fire Spirits. Missed that one actually. Ooh, I'm whiffing these. Applied the slow and everything is going to be okay now. So. They're now playing too far up basically. Like they felt really like they could be aggressive because of their early advantage, but now that I'm on the map, they can't really do this anymore. They're definitely playing too greedy. Then I saw 2 heroes here and I knew that they were about to get ganked, so despite me wanting to go back to base, I knew that I had to come back. Which was a little closer though. That was a really nice kill. This is number 1, getting healed to Luna. This is part of the reason that I did this. So I wanted to make sure the Luna wasn't going to die there, and I wasn't going to be able, I could have dived and mech'd I guess, but really did not want my allies to die in this moment, so. Luna's going to be all good. I was trying to get my plate mail plus go heal, but I didn't get a chance to do that there.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The reason I'm making a plate mail first is because in most games, I think the quick vitality booster can be very nice, but I'm so far ahead in EXP here that I think I can get away with just going for a fast Shivas. I wanted to kill the Sigil just again, they're really annoying to deal with. I dove for that one, got really unlucky on this. Basically, they thought I was going to stand still. They thought the storm was going to pull me, but I dove for the Sigil kill. You can attack while you're diving. So I dove, I attacked the Sigil, got the last hit, and as I came back, the storm was already there waiting for me. And then he pulled me, and the arrow that was shot way earlier ended up landing right on top of me. So I got kind of unlucky. What I should have done probably, as soon as the storm balled in and I got the Sigil, I should have just canceled the dive to by the Ancients, and I should have just ran north instead. So me dying there was a moderate mistake, and it actually gave Mirana a lot of gold. So I think I was going to die no matter what. Even if I had my plate mail, I was going to die because I got arrowed. So I just should have avoided the storm. The arrow was just like an unfortunate byproduct. I think that was the only unlucky factor, is that I happened to be in the same place when the arrow came back. So maybe too greedy to kill the Sigil, I guess, but I don't think it was that weird of a play. I just should have reacted based on the what the storm did instead of not doing that. So buy another TP here. I'm gonna go look for some more action. Yeah, the reason I'm grabbing the plate mail though is because I want a really fast Shivas. Shivas is a great offensive item on Phoenix because you can use Shivas and then dive. And not only does this give you vision over the entire team, because the vision is based on the Shiva's AoE, but it also slows their whole team by 40% to start things off. We also spotted the Bristleback here. Again, they spent a lot of time in our jungle here, so I'm going to be able to chase him down. I'm just going to pre-pop the mech to give my team armor here. Try to see if I can keep the Luna alive, and now I'm chasing with Sunray. Doesn't really do that much damage. I'm actually not using it very well, but... And I'm just going to ulti on top of this, because they are going on the Zeus, and this is the best way to protect him. I was actually trying to use the heal on the...
Roshan has fallen to the dark.
I whiffed a lot of these spirits.
Let the fun begin.
I don't think I did that fight very well. I think my ulti on top of the Tuskar was good. I think that was absolutely fine, because that like forced him to make a decision, and Bristleback ended up running back into it because he was trying to help, and it ended up killing him really easily. So I think my ulti was good. My actions after that were not so good. I started using the Sunray because I was trying to heal the Lion, but then the Lion was running away, so I went for the Storm. I should have just queued up Forge Spirits probably, or queued up the Fire Spirits and gone for some damage or something. It's like we found an Abaddon as well. He actually didn't have his ulti up apparently, so that was pretty easy. So much action in this part of our jungle as well. Like it's not very safe for our opponents to fight in here. I'm just gonna let him pick up the farm here. I don't really need it that badly. Yeah, we pulled the creeps over because we knew they had a ward, so we had to pull it back over to the side jungle. Getting more action going on. Just gonna throw some fire spirits in pretty far. I should have sunrayed that. That was a mistake. Could have sunrayed for the heal as well as the damage. It would have been good. That was my fault. I don't know if it would have saved him, but it would have done some heals for sure. Don't really have to use dive here if I don't want to. Just gonna do some diving in here for some damage. Wasn't really that worried about dying, especially when the arrow missed. Not a big issue. So, but I'll just keep getting last hits. Yeah, all this armor stack is so good against the Bristleback as well. So it's another way that, like, Phoenix is the perfect hero against heroes that rely on right-clicking to do damage. So the fact that I'm in this game is amazing because Potom relies on some right-clicking, Tuskar definitely relies on right-clicking, Storm relies on right-clicking, as does Bristleback. So if I just cast Fire Spirits on like 3 of their heroes, their damage output is like severely limited. You really have to be like a burst-based hero for this to work better. It's a nice gank by the Storm Spirit. It's going to result in me dying because of the Orchid. Orchid is something I actually have trouble with. My HP was way too low. It was at about like 60% or half or something like that. If it was more around the 80%, I easily would have survived, but it was a bit too low for the circumstances, so I should have been a little bit more concerned about the Orchid or possible initiation range. But Orchid is a great way to counter a Phoenix. If you're ever ahead and you get an Orchid on a mid-hero like Storm or Quap, then Phoenix is a pretty easy gank with a little backup. So. I actually thought that I was getting ganked as too if you watched the VOD I mentioned it, because the Abaddon ran up to this tree clump area and sat there. And I said on stream, I said, I think I'm getting ganked because why else would Abaddon run that close to me, basically? And he was part of the reason that I died. He was able to throw in a death or mist coil to help burst me down. And I should have just said, okay, he's probably ganking. The only reason he's being aggressive is because someone else is setting up a gank, because him alone isn't going to kill me. So I should have inferred a bit more and reacted based on that. That was my fault. I appear to be AFK. And I saw some action, so I'm going to show. Oops, I got arrowed. I was able to kill the Storm at least, that was good. I wasn't going to be able to kill, like, I don't have an immediate stun, so. The only stun I actually have is from Supernova, and there's no way that that will trigger in time. Just going to cast my Sun right here to heal up the Luna a bit. And then I'll go somewhere else. Again, I don't really need to go back to base to heal since I have Tranquils and Mech, and I think I realized this at this point. I was like, I heal 18 HP per second. This is fine. So for now, we just want to continue to secure my allies farm. We have a Lycan, we have a Luna. They can farm very fast, so I should just go around, take farm where it's a little dangerous, and then cover them wherever they're last sitting. Or, you know, fight them for CS, that works too. Bristleback's really low top as well. We could definitely get this kill if we can get behind him. And Lycan's kind of in a bad spot now. If things go well, we can maybe bait this out, but dare say he used his ulti a bit too early. Oh, I was able to get the Bristleback. I could have sunrayed over this actually. I thought there wasn't going to be another kill, so I thought I'll just kill the creeps. And again, a bit of a weird spot for my allies, so I thought I would sunray on top of the Lycan, because I was worried about him dying. I knew we were in a little bit of trouble, so to prevent him from initiating, I popped my ulti. I don't really like my ulti there very much, actually. I think that was weak. Again, trying to put the attack speed aura, the attack speed reduction on all the enemy heroes.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
At this point, I have nothing left, though. Pretty much everything else is gone. Just need to use Sunray to finish him off if possible. I get arrowed.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Actually, do die finally. It's a pretty crazy fight. So main mistakes I made in that fight. Number one, my ulti was in a bad spot. I could have been placed farther up, and I actually had a dive off cooldown when I ended up what's the word? I had a dive off cooldown before I used it, so I could have actually dived in and used it a bit closer to the tower, and I would have probably done more damage, maybe stunned somebody.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
After I respawned, I kind of dove in and immediately spammed Fire Spirits everywhere because I was worried about my allies dying, but I went a little too spammy on that. I should have been a bit more careful with my usages, because like the attack speed reduction is amazing, obviously, but like being a bit more patient. Only like I could spam 2 maybe, but keeping 2 up after that would be really good. Because after I spam all my Fire Spirits, it really limits my DPS. Like I'm pretty much out of DPS at that point. If I've already used my ulti and I spam all my Fire Spirits over the entire map, it's just dangerous. Like it's not dangerous, it just really limits my damage potential. I think the only time it's really good to spam all 4 spirits immediately is when you know you're in a horrible spot and you need to ulti immediately, whether for defense of your allies or for yourself. So you can jump in, you can throw all 4 out, and you can ulti if you're going to ulti immediately. But if you already ultied, then that's not the right time to spam them out. You should be a lot more patient afterwards. So that's one of the mistakes I made there. I think using the Sunray to kill the pod was okay, but maybe a little greedy because I wasn't looking at the rest of the battle either. And maybe that wasn't the best time to use that. Like, he wasn't going to get out. He already used his TP and it got interrupted. I didn't necessarily know that, but watching it now I noticed. But watching it, or playing it live, I don't think I remembered or was aware of the fact. Again, my Fire Spirits are about to go away, so I might as well cast it on some newts. He grabbed a kill. Actually didn't know that the... a little worried about getting initiated on. And again, they're initiating, so I'm just going to ulti. Let's try to defend my allies. Again, you have to reapply the fire immediately after the...
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
This looks pretty bad. I just got Shiva's at least. If I had Shiva's in that fight, it might have gone a lot better, actually. I think I used my ulti too early again, though. Maybe not again, but I think that time I used it too early. Yeah, I think using my ulti defensively like that is pretty good, but I don't think my whole team was there either. It felt like a 3v4 or something like that. My ulti did damage, but it wasn't like really clutch, I feel. Maybe I should have just thrown Fire Spirits after the storm to try to reduce the damage that Lion took, and I don't know. Just felt like I ran out of steam really a little too fast there. I think I could have made better decisions. So, at least that's my criticism of that. But regardless, I have my Shiva's finished finally. It's pretty delayed considering how good my early game was, but here I am. No worth. Okay, there's no worth. I'm actually middle of the pack. I'm sure I was a lot higher at the start of the game, but I've definitely dropped off since then. So maybe a little too in the middle of the fight as well. It's a little better usually to sit in the back and be able to use Sunray So once you use Sunrays, it's really easy to dodge if they're in front of you. If they're farther away, it's harder to get the right angle off.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I can definitely try pressuring this guy. So I actually didn't want to go on him there. I just kind of wanted to do some damage and scare him, which I accomplished. Not sure where he actually went back to base.
Roshan has fallen
Storm
to
Spirit
the
stole
dark.
that. He was really well done. He remnanted it on the high ground so that he had vision and they jumped down. Stole that one. Looks like this is going to be a fight, so I need to show up, I think. Then they disengage, so it's a pretty good steal. I think we still got Aegis, but yeah, we got the, I'm sorry, we got Roshan kills, so we still got the gold out of it. It's not the worst, but would have been nice to have. So we can start taking some towers. As soon as I think a fight's gonna go, I'm just gonna Shiva's dive, and there it is.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Man, that slow is so good. And that was pretty good. I knew my fire spirits were about to end anyways, so
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
where did I get arrowed?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Again, I'm gonna put some heals on the Luna. Looks like Zeus is gonna get blown up by himself. It's really hard to turn for this thing in time.
I'm staging a comeback.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Man, that Shiva's is so good. I think it's 40% for 4 seconds.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, it worked out really nice. That guy looked like he was in trouble, so I used spirits and dive. I was able to get into melee range while diving and drop the spirits on top of the storm. And when his attack speed's reduced that much, there's no way he's going to be able to get a kill. Like 140 attack speed reduction is too much. I use this to try to heal my allies a bit.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
We kind of need to get out since we got a Rex. Yeah, Shiva's dive is so good. It's like the best way to start a fight, easily. When your opponents are all slowed that much, it's hard for them to make decisions. It's like Rod of Atos is 60%, I think. But it's 40%, so it's like almost a Rod of Atos on their whole team. It's pretty ridiculously good. It's definitely my favorite Phoenix item,
Radiant's
Shiva's.
bottom tower is
I don't
under
think there's a
attack.
better item for him, frankly. Like, Hex is always
Radiant's
amazing,
bottom tower
but the
has
Shiva's aura
fallen.
and the AoE slow that you can do to the whole team is just ridiculously good. I think my ulti wasn't quite perfectly used in the last fight either. I could have done that better, I think. Alright, so from here on out, I have a couple decisions to make. We already have support items. I don't know if we have a hood or not, but I could pick up a hood because that'd be useful for my allies. But the main way that I've been dying so far is, maybe not the main way, but one of the things I have to be really concerned about is getting silence. So I can try to counter a silence with my next item. There's a couple ways I can do that. I can get a Eul's that could remove the silence. I can get a Black King bar. I can get a Manta style, that's ridiculous though. Manta is not going to be worth it. So probably like Eul's or Black King bar is an option, but there's also a third option, that's going to be buying a heart. And the reason I decided to go heart is because just overall more HP is going to help me in multiple ways. It'll give me more damage. This looks a little scary for this guy. I'll talk about this after the fight. I think I did this badly again. I got a stun on 2 heroes at least. I messed up the Shivas as well. I really didn't do this fight very well at all. I did very little to save the Zeus in that fight. He got jumped on the right side, and I could have popped the mech on him, and I didn't. I did use the mech later, but I panic ultied way too fast. I keep thinking like, oh, if I just use my ulti, it's gonna do a bunch of damage, but And it does, but it's not always the right move. I could be doing other things to try to save him. Like I could cast Fire Spirits on the Storm who doesn't have a BKB, and then there's like no way that he'll kill the Storm or the Zeus. That's what I should be focusing on, not just like panic using my ulti because the fight's happening and I want to do some damage. Like even like when I'm this far ahead and my ulti is already at level 3, I could be even drawing some fire and putting myself in a position where like taking right clicks but surviving would be okay. Like force them into making the decision. Like every ulti so far I've been using has been like there's no possible way they'll kill me in time, but I'll still do some damage. Like if I'm this far ahead, I need to be a bit more aggressive and give the chance that maybe I won't be able to make the kill. That was a big hex. That was well done. But yeah, not using the Shivas before I dove on the top lane was by far the biggest mistake there. If you don't use it before you start diving, then the AoE is really small and it's unlikely to hit everybody. You gotta use it and then dive, because then it'll be like nice and big and expanded. So I should have been really focusing the Fire Spirits for Storm every time. Focus the Spirits on Storm, and that was really dangerous because the Storm bought back, so we just need to retreat and we get an advantage. Looks like they're still gonna come. I was able to put the... Oh man, my ulti was so bad here. Actually stunned one of these. My ulti was really bad that fight, but everything else I think was good. I think I did everything else really well. I forgot, or I messed up stopping the dive early, and as a result I was back to my original place before I ultied. It was really sloppy. If I wouldn't have done that, then I probably would have gotten a lot more damage output out of my ulti. And I probably would have stunned more than just one guy.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
My initiation was good though. I used Shiva's dive.
Has fallen.
That was good.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
Anyways, I got my hard finish now. Yeah, the other nice thing about hard is it's a much more effective tranquil boots basically. So now my HP should be a lot closer to full at all points in time. It also really increases my survivability because I already have a ton of armor items. So enhancing that by getting HP on top of that just means that there's like no way to die.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I was able to go Scepter here before I got hit. My ulti is pretty on cooldown, so I thought it was really good. I did actually get my ulti off here, but they will be able to right click me. I was just happy I got my ulti off because I thought I wasn't gonna get it. I was like spamming it for like 4 seconds there. Probably wasn't worth using because I was just gonna die anyways, but it was a lot of focus to kill me though. If I had Fire Spirits up, I maybe could have survived it, but I did not. So.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
Sweet.
Radiant's top barracks
So,
has fallen.
pretty solid
The
game.
Dire
I think
now
we
have
we mega creeped them just now. That means we're very likely to win. Yeah, we can go run back in and have some more fun. Ghost Scepter is actually a really good counter against Storm, by the way. The only thing you gotta do is while he balls in, if you think he's gonna go on you, you have to press Ghost Scepter. Because if he pulls you and you're Ghost Sceptered, he can't do any damage basically. He can like hit you with Remnant, and that'll do bonus damage, but Storm is largely about the right clicking in between spell casts. So if you just make yourself physical immune, then Storm's pull is actually quite wasted. So I was kind of able to do that in the last fight. I still ended up dying, but as a support hero, Ghost Scepter is really nice against Storms. Especially if they have an Orchid, basically. If they have an Orchid, it's the one way to get around it. So this is pretty boring. Appears I'm not paying attention. Zeus has killed Mirana. Wow, we're like really AFK'd here. Holy crap. Still AFK. Was this the time that somebody was at the door? Yeah, it was actually. Somebody came to the door and was asking me questions in Korean. It was really confusing. And later, I'm just gonna free camera for now because I'm eventually gonna react. But I had to go answer the door and be confused, and then she came in and had to talk to Will, so I had to wake Will up. Oh, there it goes. Alright, I'm finally back. Okay. Wow, even the Batten hid. I really wanted to get there in time. Doesn't appear I will make it though.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
There's final items if you guys are curious as well. They had a really nice start. Mirana actually barely progressed in items after the early game. I don't know if that was buybacks or what. But
Radiant's ancient is under attack. Dire victory.
yeah, we end up winning. So yeah, Tranquil Boots in the offlane. Pick up a mech if you can, because it'll kind of help your team a lot. Play really aggressive, because Phoenix definitely can. You can easily solo kill supports at level 3, sometimes even level 2. Definitely grab a Shiva's first item if you're doing well. If not, I think Rod of Atos is a really good item as well. So Rod of Atos, Shiva's are the 2 items you should be aiming for. Force Staff can be good as well if they have silences, or you can maybe get Yules or something like that. There's a lot of options. You can actually use Yules pretty well as a setup for your ulti as well, because you could like right-click the guy, you could Yules him and immediately ulti, and that means that for 2.5 seconds he'll still be within your ulti range, so there's a good chance that he won't be able to make it out before the stun lands. So you could use Yules as well to try to set up your stun on your ulti. I don't know if it's really worth it. Like, the stun on your ulti is a very small component of the usefulness. It's mostly about the damage, but yeah, that's how you play Phoenix in the offlane. It's pretty similar to playing him as a support role, but I actually like him in the offlane a lot. I think that's the best place for him. He is hard countered by supports and magic nukers and hard stuns, so pretty much the same stuff that most people are countered by. But I think that's it. Thanks for watching. So the videos have been lacking the last couple days, but I've been very busy catching up on stuff. I'm almost ready to get into the casual swing of things. We play a match on Wednesday, which is pretty far away, so we've got a lot of free time now. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.